Hi, I'm Alice Lambert and I'm here with the wonderful Reese Manigan. We're here in Covenhive in... Are we Suffolk?
Yes.
Yeah, we're Suffolk.
You should know.
I know. I'm in Norfolk, so you know there's that divide going on. So we've just filmed The Green Turtle, which I'm actually going to get quite emotional about because it's very special to me. And I just wanted to interview Reese and ask him a few questions. He's got his 20th anniversary coming up, which I think that's something to celebrate.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean,
Reese,
20 years is quite big.
first question that everyone's always going to say, how did you get into this?
Well, it didn't start off with film in general. I really wanted to become a wildlife presenter at first. When I was a kid, I grew up with more wildlife documentaries. I did watching kid cartoons and other stuff. Although I did obviously grew up with films and everything else, but there was something about animals and documentaries that I just loved. I mean, obviously, I'm a massive David Attenborough fanatic, and I still am. I mean, everybody is.
Who doesn't love him?
I was going to say, who doesn't? But, you know, the 90s were that sort of era where I always would love to record wildlife programs. I mean, I grew up with, maybe you remember them, there was Survival Angler, there was Wildlife on 1, there used to be Wildlife on 2 as well. I think they swapped it, the BBC. There was the old Natural World episodes, which back when they were brilliant, not so political as they used to be near the time, because back then it was all about the animals, wasn't it? Yeah, I grew up with, and also there was Big Cat Diary as well.
Yes.
You know, that was like
favourites.
my EastEnders. You know what I mean? That was like my soap, and I even used to cry at the end of every episode because I loved it that much. I was just addicted to these wildlife programs, and you know, and I remember saying that's what I want to do. I want to get out of the world and interview all these animals and go in front of a rhino and talk to it and stuff like that. You know, but
did you ever think about giving it a silly voice?
Yeah, I did used to practice with voice. I mean, that's why people nowadays you say, oh, you should do voice work and all that. And, you know, I end up doing all the voice work. You know, I could do loads of impressions, but I won't do that now. But yeah, I did used to narrate a little bit like David Attenborough, a little bit, try and do like the sound effects and everything. But then I was like, no, just use your own voice because you're you. But then, as the years were going on, I was still watching these programs. I got more intrigued about how they filmed the animals. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to say to my dad, how do they get those animals on camera? He used to go to me, oh, it's camera tricks. You know, because as a kid, that's what he used to say, oh, it's camera tricks. You know, it wasn't editing or special effects, it was camera tricks. That's how he used to say it. But then that's when I was like really intrigued with it. And then when I was about 7 or 8, I got my own camera that my mum and dad used to buy me, and I used to go out and film rabbits and herons and foxes, and then I just started, used to write my own little wildlife scripts and stuff like that. But then again, that's when I was writing these so-called stories about these animals, I used to had to make up my own little facts about them and say about what the mother bear was doing and all that. And I used to think, actually, I could turn this into a fictional story. And then that's how the sort of fiction side got to it. And then my love of fiction and writing got involved, and I started reading a lot of books. You know, when I grew up with Disney films, I read the Jungle Book and I read the Watership Down book and stuff. But then these books were really interesting. So I wanted to also become a writer. So then it just evolved. So it was wildlife presenter, filmmaker to writer, to then saying, right, this is what I want to do. And then I got my sort of first film break, I guess you could say, in 2005 when I was at school. I used to draw all these comic books, and used to get gallons of paper in the cupboard. In fact, the school used to give us our own cupboard to store these comic books in. And they just made us do an animated film, which we were allowed to do. It done really well, and then that's when I said, right, that's what I want to do. And since then, I've just been going for it. The rest is history.
Excellent. I love a good story that just, the inspiration where you get it from is brilliant. So, knowing that you love wildlife, how do you feel when it comes to things like the remake of Lion King, when they make the animals talk and things like that? Do you think, oh my gosh, no, you've ruined it, or do you think actually intriguing?
To be honest, Disney have ruined every live action. I mean, to be honest, the only ones I do like is Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent. Oh, and Jungle Book. Jungle Book was alright as well. But yeah, I think from Beauty and the Beast onwards, Disney have completely ruined their reputation. And it's not just them, it's Star Wars and Marvel now, and you know, they're just not a great company in my opinion. That's why I probably wouldn't work for them. But yeah, The Lion King, I mean, that really actually broke my heart because Lion King I grew up with. It's my favourite Disney film, by the way.
Same,
it's my absolute.
same.
Oh,
That's my.
high five! It's my absolute favourite Disney movie.
Yeah. I was so
second-
nervous to watch the live action one because I thought if you ruin this, I'm going to cry.
Yeah,
and I cried.
Yeah, exactly. Because as I was saying, my second favourite Disney film was Zootopia. Speaking of animals.
Yes.
But yeah, the Lion King remake. I didn't like it, and I mean, I like the effects of it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Whatever you do think of it, it looks mind blowing.
Yeah.
And the fact that they tried to make it as real as possible, amazing. But story wise, voice wise, and everything else wise, it was just trash.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only a few little things I do like about it, but they're very minimal. I mean, I'd say Seth Rogen as Pumbaa was the best thing.
Yeah.
I liked what they did with Shenzi the hyena, making him more of a villain rather than this comical female hyena, which I thought was actually quite good. They
Quite
used her as a
empowering
character
as well.
Yeah, because that's actually how hyenas are. The female is the governor.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was just, it was atrocious, and I was heartbroken. But then again, like I said, Disney, they don't seem to know what a good film is anymore.
No, I think perhaps maybe let's stop doing as many live actions and leave the animation as the animation.
As long as they're making money, they're going to carry on. That's all it cares about
Yeah.
nowadays with this film industry. It's all about the money.
Yes, yeah. So when it comes to your inspiration, and script writing, where are you when this happens? And what are you doing? Are you ever sitting at a desk thinking, come to me? Or are you just standing there at work and go, I've got it?
Well, my missus says my brain never stops. So it's true. Because anything could inspire me, anything. I could watch another film and I think, I want to do something similar to that. Or I could go out one day and see something happen in real life and think, that should be a movie. Or I meet someone and think, that could be a movie character. So anything's possible. But it depends on what it is. I mean, so if I was to break it down, for example, Archie and Jim, that was a sitcom that me and Charlie did. Now, the good thing about that is that was a very cartoony kind of sitcom, and at the same time, it was good for adults. So it was rude, but it was also very cartoony because it was live action slapstick. Now, the main inspiration for that was Bottom.
Yes.
Bottom was always my inspiration thing. I want to do a sitcom about two idiots who beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And Archie and Jim is similar to that, but obviously they're not sexual perverts. I had to take that away because otherwise YouTube would ban my series.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd love to just create about these two idiots who try and do money-making schemes, or they encounter a rabid badger, or anything. And any idea was possible. And I mean, some of the ideas I even came up with, I don't know how. I mean, I think people might think I was on crack when I came up with these ideas, but honestly, I'm not. But no, but what made it funny was I remember when I came up with an episode, one of them was Man Pest, and it had a very sort of Tom and Jerry kind of feel to it, because it was like, you know, they'd hired Tom the cat to get rid of Jerry the mouse. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if one day Archie was pretending to be this man pest, where he was pestering this couple, but they pay me to go and sort him out. And I thought that actually works as an idea. And when I wrote it, I remember saying to Charlie, there's no one's going to want to do this is ridiculous. But then actually these two actors come forward and went, yeah, we want to do this.
Excellent.
And I was like, and the first reaction was, are you actually okay? Because I thought, you do know what this is. They went, yeah, we kind of got an inkling. And we went out and filmed it. And I was laughing behind the scenes because I thought, I cannot believe we're actually filming this. I can't believe this is actually getting made. And I thought, but what are the people going to think when they watch it, when it's edited? And the reactions were just hilarious. Some of it was like, what is this? Some of us said, this is hilarious. Someone even went, I don't know where you're at now with your ideas, but this is bizarre. But it was funny, the reactions. So there's always that. With feature films, it's always based on something that I may have seen and think I want to do something similar to that. Because I'm not controlled, I've got no money, I can just make whatever I want. Yeah. So I'll make something similar to that and I'll go, do you know what, I'm going to do something similar to that and make this instead, and I do. But with, for example, Outsmarted, because that's a proper series and that's a storyline that has to go on for like maybe God knows how many episodes, what I'll do is I'll have a concept, I'll write some notes of the storylines, the episode ideas, the arc, and I'll think, okay, maybe that's where it'll go. I write a storyline for each character. I think who's going to be in it, character-wise, and then I write the story, and then I do everything with that series. I mean, I direct every episode. I write every page on the script. I come up with the storylines and the concepts of what's going to happen. I cast the show and have a very strong relationship with the actors. Plus I'm filming it. Plus I'm editing it. Plus I'm Detective Red Fox. Yeah. So I'm pretty much doing everything.
You are there on everything. Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that I am not. I do multitask too much, but there is times where I just think I look as tired as I feel.
As long as you don't burn out, that's important.
I don't think I ever would. That's the problem. My flame will never go out. I think that's the problem.
Good. So do you think throughout your 20 years we can see that progression of your work, and there's moments where you just think, wow, I've come a long way from where I started, and you look at it and think, now where can I go?
Yeah, definitely. I mean my contacts have definitely been better.
Yeah.
Like I know people who know people, and those people do try and help me now and again. Or they'll send me things to say, come to this event or come to this premiere. But the problem is, some of those people they know are quite egotistic people, and there are some that I have met before, and it's like, well, yeah, I did meet so and so, but he ignored me, or I met her, but she's a bit, or I've met him, but I've heard some stories, from different people. Like I don't really listen to gossip now and again, but if it's from different people and it's the same story, then I'll know it's true, because I'll think, how did he know and she know, and So I'm very careful with my circle. I mean, really, I've only got like 10 close friends out of the 50 people I probably know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm very proud how far I've come, definitely. I mean, scripting last year, 0 budget film, 6 film festivals, plus to get nominated for Best Director was an absolute dream come true. Yeah. And when I got those results, I remember thinking, I bragged it on social media, I mean, you probably saw it, but I was like, to all those people who didn't believe in me, eat your own words.
Yeah.
Because I've had people say to me, you shouldn't go for this, it's too competitive, you'll never get far, you make 0 budget films, who's going to want to hire you, and stuff like that. But then I look at them and I go, well, if you look at scripting, for instance, and I didn't know this until the festival told me, but this scripting apparently knocked off a few films that starred some actors from Sex Education.
Right,
and even some actors who'd been on EastEnders and stuff like that. And I was like, are you joking? And they went, no, it made it to the top. And I was like, so you're saying that you had all those star quality films, there's my little film, and you said to those, we're not taking that one, we're going to take this one. And they went, yeah. And I went, but can I ask why? And they went, you don't need to know why, but you just need to know that you're in.
Amazing.
So I was like, that'll do.
Yeah.
I mean, I sometimes do like to know why, in terms of, is it the story? Is it the editing? Is it the performances? Just so I know.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't tell me. They said, look, you don't have to worry about that. You just have to worry that you're in.
Excellent.
So don't worry about it. I was like, okay. So, yeah, out of the 20 years, I would definitely say I've definitely progressed a lot in terms of my skills. I mean, obviously, I do sometimes wish that I was a bit higher in terms of, if I've got this idea, I could get a budget and make that, because there's so many films that I have that I would make with a budget. But I suppose, in a way, you could say those are worth the wait.
Yeah.
And just keep working what I can do now, and then maybe it would happen.
Excellent. So what can we expect to see in your film festival next year?
Well, I've got 3 coming.
Excellent.
3. So I've got Alienation,
Yeah.
I've got Discrimination, and I've got this one, The Green Turtle.
Yeah.
Those are so far the 3. I'm not going to release them all at the same time though, because of money, because festivals do cost a lot of money. But hopefully by next year I'm in a better position, in like financially, wherever I'm going to be. And if I am, then who knows? Maybe if one film gets taken and it goes higher, amazing. If it doesn't, at least I've had a good run. Because I say that, but you don't know what the future was going to hold. With scripting, I didn't even think 6 festivals. I mean, God, I didn't think even 2 were going to take it in. But then, when I got up to like maybe 3, 4 festivals, I was like, there's something here, obviously.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's sub it to some more. And then 3 more took it in, and I got nominated. So what does that tell you? And I was not, honest to God, expecting that at all. I don't even know these people who run these festivals. I don't know any of them, and that's honest to God's truth. I might have a lot of contacts, but I don't know who runs these festivals. I don't have any secret identities or anything. I don't slip an envelope in. Honestly, when they took it in, I was honestly gobsmacked.
Yeah.
And I literally was in my head saying, are you sure this is my email? Seriously, because I didn't believe it. So, yeah, the 20 years have been an adventure. And do you know what? It's something that I ever loved, because when I think about my memories, I think the filmmaking is definitely my favourite part of my life, apart from also being with my wife. But that is also my favourite part, because I look back at the memories and I go, yeah, I enjoy making that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been times where I've made some films and I've had some not great experiences, and I think it was alright, but we had a bit of issues with this actor and this happened. But it happens.
Yeah.
And there are days as well where I've got some actors who I don't even talk to now in my films. I think, yeah, I did work with him, but now we don't because of, but it doesn't matter, because it does happen.
Yeah.
But you have to look back and think, well, look, you've completed that film. Don't worry about who's in it.
Yeah.
It just matter that you've made it. And so I think, yeah.
Excellent. So have you got, you've picked up a lot of people along the way on your journey. Would you say you've got some that have been with you since the beginning and have stayed close to you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously Charlie Lloyd, been friends with him for
Yeah.
25 years, and he's an absolute legend. He's a great actor, he's a great mate, everything. I mean, he's been there since day one. But yeah, I do. I have a cast family. I would list them all, but I might forget some names. They might kill me.
And you don't want to offend them.
You don't want to offend them, yeah.
Yeah.
Offence. But there are some friends who I've stuck with for such a long time, and I love them to death. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I was.
Yeah.
So I'm always grateful to them. There has been times where I've made close friends with maybe one actor and we've only worked together once. There are some producers who I've met who support what I do.
Yeah.
I've even met a couple of famous people who supported me. I'll give you two examples. One of them was Elora Torchia, who's in Midsummer.
Yeah.
She's also in the Earth, and she's just recently been in the new House of Dragon.
Yeah.
She's an incredible actress, very underrated, and we
Yeah.
talk on Instagram now and again.
Yeah.
But she came to my premiere for Scripted, and she said to me, "You've got this. I see something in you. You've got this.
That's
Don't give up."
special. Yeah.
And she is a lovely human being, not an egotistic bone in her body.
Yeah.
The second person I would say is Pono Bailey Bond, who was the director of the movie Censor, and is an incredible director. And she was absolutely lovely. And she even, when I told her that Scripted got taken to Pinewood Liftoff Festival, she went, "What?" Like that to me. I went, "Yeah." And she went, "And you made this film with no money?" She went, "Yeah." She went, "Oh my God, congratulations."
Yeah.
And this is by someone, by the way, who doesn't reply to their DMs on Instagram. But every time I send her a message and tell her what I'm doing, she always replies to me and says, "Good luck," and "Well done," and "Thumbs up." So she takes the time to reply. So
brilliant.
the fact that I get to even talk to her and say to her, "By the way, my film's been nominated," she'll send me a congratulations. And I think, do you know what? She's replied. That's all I need.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, I'm so grateful to be involved in this as our first project.
And I'm grateful to finally work with you.
Stunning place to be. So I'm glad you found me as well. And I'd like to think that, I could become a part of the Reese Madigan family.
Oh, absolutely.
I know there's so many projects on the horizon, and some of the things you've told me are just absolutely hilarious. And what I really appreciate and like is, yes, I'm a person with dwarfism, but you're not necessarily playing on that. We're not using that as a tool, and I'm still the actress I am in my own right.
Yeah.